You will not cut cost if you don't have a sourcing partner by going directly to the factory. It will cost you more money and it will also cost you a lot more headache.
Welcome back to our channel. It's exciting to have Behdad join our interview, and actually I collect all the questions from our audience. But first of all, I want you to introduce yourself as a brand owner and also your expectation and the whole story of the background.
My name is Behdad. I am the founder of Fella Golf. Fella is a lifestyle brand inspired by golf. Actually, because I got addicted to golf, but I wasn't really good at it.
Okay.
I started making clothing. Not to say that I'm amazing at making clothing, but together I think we are.
Yeah, sure.
So yeah, that's basically it.
Okay, so when European brands talk about China, they often talk about factories, but supply chain partnership is something much broader. So from your exploration, the first question is, how has your understanding changed over the years?
Yeah, so it changed actually quite a lot. When I first started in China, I thought it would be, just going to Alibaba and maybe ordering from a supplier over there, and then that would be it. But having a fashion brand with many, many different styles, options, and fabrics is so much more complicated than that. And really, it is actually sophisticated, and I'm also amazed with how sophisticated the options are in China, from fabrics to factories and options that are out there.
Yeah. So when you first started sourcing from China, what were your biggest assumptions? That's the question too.
Biggest assumptions. Well, to be fair, I didn't think that the quality would be poor or anything, contrary to what many people historically think about made in China. Because obviously I have a brand in clothing, and I just know that basically all the top brands out there, they also produce in China.
Yeah.
So I knew already that the quality had to be good. But I guess one of my assumptions personally was that the MOQs would be very, very high.
Okay.
And that, at least in the case of working together with you guys, has proven not to be true, because the MOQs are very low. If you find the right partner and that they believe in your business, they're willing to be flexible.
Yeah.
They're willing to also grow with you as a business. So I think that was one of the biggest assumptions that didn't hold to be true.
Exactly. I think it just depends on if they care your brand, if they care to grow up with you.
Exactly. Yes. So I assumed that this was not the case before I came to
I think because it's like something changed over these years about the e-commerce and also the lots of new brands coming out. So I think still some factories understand and they exactly win the market based on this business and with this partnership. So yeah. So beyond the cost, what do you see as the real strength of the Made in China?
I mean, there's not only one answer. There are many strengths to Made in China because, for my brand, I use different techniques. I have different type of complicated styles that if you would go to another country, it would be unlikely that they could provide all of that in one country. In my opinion, China, you can do all of that. You can do very technical fabrics in my case, or very sophisticated knitted items. So I think that is one of the biggest pluses of Made in China. And the other one is, honestly, they're the experts in the world right now when it comes to my business. Actually also in many other businesses, but I only work in the clothing and the textile industry. And you can just rely, if you have an idea, oftentimes you just show a picture of your idea, and then the manufacturers are like, yes, we have done this before and we know exactly what you mean, so they just take that out of your hands and you don't have to worry about it as much anymore.
Right, because you learn that they can actually design based on the photo and the image, so it's like idea that it can be like achieved from
exactly. I mean, as opposed to sending maybe a very technical file where everything has to be. If you just, even today, if you make a mock-up with all the technology out there, you might have the result of what you think is beautiful, but the technicality behind it, it will take you a very long time to figure that out for hundreds of styles.
Yes.
And so I find a lot of support in that.
Yeah, I think basically for lots of factories now, they still like to rely on you to have the mock-up, have the tag pack with all the details. But then I think this is actually a good thing for us to distinguish which one can exactly support you. which one can be the most flexible.
Absolutely,
right?
yes, absolutely,
yeah.
I agree.
Cool. So the question 4 is, what's the biggest structural difference between European and China supply chain? Because I remember you said you did source from Portugal. But now
I
you
did,
changed
yes,
to
yes.
China.
Yeah, so I went to Portugal at first, that is true. I would say flexibility, number one thing. In my case, if I'm being totally honest right now, I would even say that China could even support me with lower order quantities than the Portuguese did,
Really?
which is honestly very surprising. Yes,
Okay.
not for every item, but for most of the items, they just had a higher order quantities that they wanted. Additionally, I would say the flexibility, and again, you know, in China you can source many different type of items and specialties in one country, whereas if you would go somewhere else, they might not be able to do all of that.
True.
You can find cotton suit jersey suppliers here, as well as knitwear suppliers, more or less in the same region, maybe a little bit far away from each other, but it's all in China at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Whereas in other countries, they would struggle to provide you with all of that.
Okay. Yeah, it's surprising. And so the next question is, what truly builds trust in long-term supply chain partnership?
Trust is something very, very important.
For business, yeah.
It doesn't feel like I'm working with an agency anymore after visiting you guys, especially. I feel like we're a team. I feel like it's an extension of my team, really. And I think I couldn't have done it without you guys. You know, I started this brand with a very, very big ambition. But if I look back right now at the beginning and now, I've come so far. I don't think I could have done it without you guys. So thank you for that, first of all. Secondly, after coming here, you know, I can just see also the growth. We are the second or third collection that we're making right now. I think it's the third.
Yes.
And I can already see a lot of the things that I would have done myself proactively. You guys are doing already for me. And really making the part of manufacturing less difficult and complicated. So it gives me more trust that everything will be taken care of. And trust is something that you have to earn. So far, definitely, I would say that you guys have earned it also. But moreover, I would say that that's only half of the story. The other half is that there are also, after visiting the factories together and going everywhere together, I also see the checks and balances that you've created.
Right.
The manufacturers have their own checks and balances. They show that they check products maybe 3 or 4 times during the process, but then again, you guys also offer the same. Really makes you feel more certain, because at the end of the day, I live on the other side of the world, literally. And if you send the products from China to here, then they're on a boat, and then, you know, you just have to, they have to be good. You cannot really send them back anymore. So I think the process is actually very good, and it has given me a lot of trust.
Yeah, I think it's also our pleasure. And I think it's also about the transparent communication.
Absolutely.
For both of us. And also, especially when it's the first time you come to China.
Yes.
So with some of the support, the local support, you will have like more feel at ease.
Yes. To be honest, I don't. If it wasn't for Tiven and her team, I feel like I would be like a 5-year-old child walking around China, not knowing the language, not knowing where to go. So really, to answer your question, I decided to work with a sourcing partner because I couldn't do it on my own, to be quite honest with you.
With like lots of SKUs, different collections,
Yeah, my business is very, very complicated, and it's very, very demanding. Sometimes I'm also very self-aware of that I have so many things that you guys need to take care of. So it's just impossible to do it as a business owner.
So what do you think the difference before and after you visit factories in China?
A very, very big difference, because first of all, if you haven't visited any place, it doesn't have to be China there. So I actually met the people behind the factories and also behind my sourcing partner. And I feel like we truly, with many of the suppliers and us, we really built a relationship right now.
True.
And we all are focused on making it feel bigger, you know, making the business a bigger success. You can see that also the partners are invested in that, and that it's not only yourself that is trying to make it a success.
It's more like a team.
So that makes you feel better. Honestly, you go away from China back to your business with a better feeling and more trust. Other than that, I would say that I've seen so much of the processes and I've learned so much more. It makes it easier to understand. At first, it was difficult for me. Like for instance, when there was a higher sample price for something, I couldn't really understand because I also didn't really know the process behind it. But after having visited the factories right now, I feel like I also maybe have gotten better in developing the products and making them more efficient and streamlined.
Exactly.
So that is also a very, very big part of it, to be honest.
Yeah. Oh, I think always I ask my customers to come to visit factories themselves, so you guys can also exactly learn how the product can be finished from the raw materials, from sample room, from all the processes to delivery. Yeah.
Yeah, I just think it's a lot more efficient to, for instance, if you have a certain product and you talk to a supplier, instead of negotiating on the price, like, oh, let's go lower, and they're like, no, we can't. Instead of doing it that way, you go to the supplier and like, okay, this is the target price, this is the product, we want to make the next version of it. How can we make it more efficient? How can we cut costs?
Yeah.
And then you will understand also better how the pricing works and what costs more money for them. Instead of just making a design and giving it to the supplier, like, okay, I want this and I also want it to be cheap. You know?
Yes, and also I think this is also the smart negotiation, because you exactly negotiate, but you don't only say, let's get the cost down, because we know how to, maybe which part we can cut the cost.
Exactly, yes. So
and
this
also,
is something I didn't know at all.
Yeah, it's not like just reduce the margin from both parties, but just to optimize the supply chain.
Absolutely.
To meet the target price.
Absolutely, yes. Okay. So this trip has been very helpful for that.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, the audience has asked the last question. So if you have any like suggestions to new brands, so what would you like to propose?
Well, I get this question all the time. I consider myself a new brand, so I'm not sure if I'm in the position to give advice to anyone, but if I have to give some advice, is to immediately go and find a reliable sourcing partner. I tried myself, doing it myself, and those were very, very hard times for me. I was going crazy. So it is invaluable let me put it differently, you will not cut cost if you don't have a sourcing partner by going directly to the factory. It will cost you more money, and it will also cost you a lot more headache if you don't have the right sourcing partner.
So yeah, this is basically all the questions from the audience. Thank you for sharing all the insights and your expectations. So I think for the next stage, when you come to China, we can have another interviews. I think you will have a lot more opinions. So.
Yes.
Maybe it could be a local Chinese.
I will. That next time we do an interview, it's going to be in Mandarin. So also your Chinese audience can. No, just kidding. No.